You know that I'm a pretty driven guy.
Incredibly high energy levels.
It's energy combined with passion.
It's just amazing.
He's just like a force of nature.
He has not seemed to have lost a step.
Rick Grosberg is quick, agile, and flexible both physically and mentally. It's not easy keeping up with this 55-year-old. He knows only one speed, and that's fast.
Rick's level of enthusiasm, I think, is not something that you see every day. He certainly just has it's sort of almost a childlike enthusiasm for science.
Let's see if we can find a good clonal boundary.
Rick's fascination with marine organisms along rocky shorelines began many years ago.
What drove me to come to the beach was really getting away from Los Angeles. Growing up in Los Angeles, there wasn't a lot of nature actually where I grew up. So I always went to the seashore. It was easy to get to. It was just a bus ride away. And so my instinct always was to go to the water and look at critters. And I first started looking at the seashore at the base of the Santa Monica Pier, at the pier pilings.
Rick says he doesn't really know what drove him to the beach other than his love for nature.
Being out here for me is just a complete isolation from the rest of the world. I can just be with my critters. If you want to see just a beautiful little Dora nudibranch.
Whether he is traversing these rocks at Bodega Bay by himself or leading a student field trip, Rick sees things that many of us don't.
The way this group of anemones got started was just one single little tiny anemone. And these clones interact with each other. They're competing for space on these rocks. Well, I think one of the really big questions in all of ecology and evolutionary biology is why is there so much genetic diversity out there? Why doesn't one individual and all of its offspring come to dominate an entire species? Why are species so genetically variable?
I think what characterizes Rick as a professor is his incredible intellectual honesty. And that honesty is so refreshing for students. And so often we get trapped into thinking about the dogma and what everybody else thinks is the way nature works. Rick just shatters that apart.
Perfect.
He also shatters apart those who are foolish enough to ride alongside him. Cycling is a regular part of his life, and it is here, on the pavement, where he does a lot of thinking.
So cycling is the way I collect my thoughts. I need a break from the intensity of talking with people, thinking about stuff, answering emails. I need time to get my head clear. The average UC student knows that to succeed we have to work hard and be disciplined. And cycling teaches me discipline.
How do you teach that discipline to your students?
So I basically let students know that I work hard for them and that I'm not really a gifted teacher. I just work hard at it. And I expect them to work hard at it. I'm not a naturally gifted cyclist, but I can ride well because I work hard at it. I think about it.
At the halfway point of a 59-mile ride through Yolo and Solano counties, Rick stopped at the top of Mount Canelo in Vacaville for the view.
You can look all the way across the valley. You can see Tahoe, the Sierras. The other day from up here, you could see Mount Shasta from the other side, 200 miles away. So this is a pretty special place, really special place. It's beautiful, green, all the trees are blooming, makes me feel good.
Another place Rick feels good is at home, entertaining family and friends. The word on campus is if you receive an invitation to Rick and Laura's house for dinner, don't hesitate to accept. Chef Grosberg does it all.
I do remember a memorable moment where my mom said to me, I don't want you to get married to someone because you need them to do something for you except to love you. And she said, I'm going to teach you how to do everything. You're going to learn to cook, and you're going to be a good cook, and you're going to know how to iron, you're going to know how to sew, you're going to know how to clean a house. Unfortunately, I know how to clean a house a little bit too well. I learned how to do all those things.
He has this carryover to our family life.
Rick's wife, Laura Downs, a pianist and frequent performer at the Mondavi Center, says the research her husband does benefits the family.
And afterwards I come to him and I say, I just really don't know what happened with Simon. He goes, no, I'll tell you exactly what happened. Simon was here and you were paying attention to Charlotte and Simon got upset. And so he's always watching, you know, these sibling conflicts.
Well, I have my own little laboratory of humans at home. I've learned a lot about sibling conflict, sibling rivalry, parent-offspring conflict, and I've even learned a little bit about sexual conflict.
When Rick told his wife that Chancellor Linda Katehi wanted to talk to him, she became concerned.
Well, he's always doing everything. I mean, he never says no to anything. So he's on 5 bazillion committees and everything else, and he's in meetings all day long. So he said, I have this call with the chancellor later, and I said, oh no, no more committees. And he said, fine, just come by the office and, you know, you can make me say no. So I did. I brought him a coffee.
The chancellor actually called. We had a little chit-chat about this, that, and the other thing. Well, Rick, I have good news for you. And at that point, I realized she wasn't going to ask me to be on a committee. And Laura could hear it over the phone in my office. And she said, I want to tell you, she said, I'm just thrilled to tell you that you've been awarded the UC Davis Prize.
With that,
I jumped on his lap.
I mean, it's an interesting way to think about the problem.
shortly afterwards, the chancellor made the award announcement to Rick in one of his seminar classes.
Professor Grosberg has been identified as the 2010 recipient of a major prize.
That prize is for undergraduate teaching and scholarly achievement. The prize comes with a check for $40,000, making it what is believed to be the largest cash prize of its kind in the nation.
You guys are you guys do it for me. You guys make me think. Today, while we were just talking, I was getting ideas about evolution of cooperation that will influence the way I do my work. So it's a two-way street. That's why it's so exciting for me. So thank you, you guys too, and thanks to the foundation.
And that's what is important for us to remember, that research is part of teaching our students how to ask the question.
He is internationally prominent in his discipline, and there's a reason for that, because he brings that same conceptual rigor and creativity to his thinking. He goes for big questions.
He's a huge asset to the college, and I think he has changed the way biology is taught at Davis, and it's going to be a change that affects thousands of students.
Why do we have ear muscles? Well, one answer is that...
And from the student perspective, no one has more enthusiasm for science than Rick.
Rick is really engaging as a professor. He's always got a lot to say to the class, and he's always really motivating.
All researchers who are good researchers must have an enthusiasm for what they're studying. And I think that the really easy part for me is to convey that enthusiasm, to transfer it to the classroom, because there's just no wall for me between what I do out here and even when I'm in front of 400 students. I still feel the same about what I'm seeing in a slide or a PowerPoint show that I do when I'm out here. I don't even know why that is, I just do. And I think too many teachers, too many researchers think that there's some sort of boundary between their lab or the field that they work in and the classroom. And for me, there isn't.
And that is a distinguishing characteristic of this year's prize winner. Rick, congratulations.